What's happening, YouTube? Genji here, and welcome back to my playthrough of Foundry. In the last one, we unlocked steel production, which gave us access to pipes, which we used to bring water in from the reservoir on the other side of the nearby mountain. With that water, we were able to set up a steam turbine, which gave us access to high voltage power. And in today's episode, we're going to use that high voltage power to really ramp up our production, so let's get back into it. Genji Galactic. Alright, so as you can probably see, I did create a little building around our steam turbine that we created in the last episode just to have a fancy screenshot for the thumbnail for that episode. So I'll probably keep the turbine layout the way it is now. What I am planning to do is bring this conveyor belt of ignium underground, and then we can bring it up to each one of these boilers here. Because right now that's just feeding from a single container out here. That's just a temporary measure, just to, I originally wanted to have that belt running in there. So we'll get all of that organized neatly, and I do want to expand this maybe a bit more this way so that we have space for more reactors, because right now there's only room for 2, and that's only if we push the second one right up against this wall, so there's no room to actually get in here. So it does need a little bit of expansion. But we will work on that when our power demand really gets to it, because I think right now we've got quite a bit of overhead. Let's see. So I think it's showing that we're delivering exactly as much power as is needed for that grid, I think. So really the only one that matters is the very top one here. So we're only at about 33%, if I'm reading this right. How much does this actually create? Max output is 3.6, yeah, and we're only using 1.1. So yeah, we're about 30% utilization of that reactor. So we've got some time. We can do a little bit more building before we need to add a second one. But I do want to work on that, and I want to dig out from underneath it to create a basement to run our pipes and our belts through. And then we will have to stick maybe another layer just on top, just to manage the wall lights and the distribution wires. I did find that when placing these wall lights and the ceiling lights, the decorative blocks that make up the walls don't actually carry power. So if you want to power wall lights or ceiling lights, you have to place them on a foundation block. So I just have these foundation blocks running along the outside of the building, or in this case, just on the interior of the walls, just to bring power to those. So that's a bit silly. Hopefully that's something they fix at some point, but for now that'll work. So we'll work on that. What other tasks do we want to work on today? I do want to maybe spruce up this passageway a bit. I'm going to widen it and put some actual blocks on the side of it, make it look like an actual utility tunnel. That's not really a progression task though. That's more just aesthetics, just to make it look nice. As far as actual progression, we do have some work to do on our space station, and I would like to maybe get into the, let me look at the tech tree here. I would like to get into the lava caves, and to do that we're going to need this ore scanner for mineral rock. So to access that, we're gonna have to go through, where's my tree? Here we go. We're gonna have to go through explosives. So let's get that researching right off the bat. And while we're waiting for that to research, I did get a tip in the comments that balancing the inputs to the back of these servers is not absolutely necessary. So maybe I will reorganize these to just deliver the science packs linearly while we wait for that research to finish. So we'll be right back and we'll show you what we got. Okay, let's take a look inside. So I did add another server here and expanded the building by a bit just so we could get the outside to look symmetrical. And I put the 2 rows of science packs right alongside each other, and then they're just going to load linearly into the back via first and second lane loaders. And then I guess at some point we're going to have to introduce some other science pack colors. So we'll worry about that when we get there, but we're going to have to maybe load from a different side, or expand the building and put gaps in between. There's a few things we can do, but we're not quite there yet, so we're not going to worry about it just yet. But we are going to start some new research. So let's see what we have access to now. We do have elevators now, and assemblers 2, stairs, Office furniture, mining tool speed, ore refinement I do want to take a look at, because ore refinement I think allows us to use the crushers to crush ore and make them more efficient. So we actually get more plates and more rods out of the same amount of ore. So let's get that running. And we'll have to reconfigure our smelter networks, which would be a nice project to get this episode started. And then from there, we need to continue towards the mineral scanner. So we'll do that research next after this one finishes. And while that's researching, we will work on reorganizing our smelters. So let's go ahead and wait for this one to process. There we are. Ore refinement has been unlocked. And then while we're playing, let's go ahead and get mineral rock moving along. And we'll take a look at our production lines here. So I did queue up and make some crushers while we're waiting. So I think I'm just we're going to go scorched earth with this. I'm going to destroy all of it. So let's get rid of all of our smelters, all of our lines. We don't want to destroy our container. Something like that. Drop in some foundations. And then we may need to push back further from that, since we're going to have to put in more crushers into this line. But I think this is a nice starting foundation. So we're going to take our output belts. And what way do we want to bring our production? I guess we could go this way a bit. So we'll bring all of our lines outward like this. So we have 3 parallel lines of ore coming out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and clear some more foundation this way to work on. There we go. There's some more space. So now we're going to have to balance this into either... Let's see what the item rates are for each belt. So we can potentially balance this onto a single yellow belt. But for now, since we only have red belts, we'll have to balance this into... our crushers across these 3 belts. So let's take a look at the crusher and see what the numbers look like for production of these more efficient ores. So we can do xenoferrite ore, which we get from xenoferrite ore rubble. So I guess we're purifying the ore. It doesn't tell us, I guess it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Let's take a look. So if I slap a loader here, this is on 8, and we run just 1 belt in here. Yeah, so it's a 1-to-1 operating at 40 units per minute. Okay, so let's just take a smelter, which we should have a bunch of here. So let me manage our inventory here. So I'm going to take 1. Can I take 1, or do I have to take the whole bunch? Is there a button for taking 1 item? Control? Nope, that takes everything. Shift. Oh, here we go. Shift plus right mouse button split. Move all items or equip items. So we can't do like 1. We just have to keep splitting. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Split, so just give me 1. I want to dump 1 into this smelter here. Manage inventory. I want to see what comes out. Does it need 2 of these? Okay, there's 2. Okay, so it takes 2 of the crushed ore, or the refined ore, and it produces 3 plates. So we're getting a 50% production bonus for smashing our rubble first. Interesting. Okay, so let's break this down. So each one of the, well, I guess yield last minute 42, 0, 0. Is there a way to see what the maximum production of these is? Is it 40 per minute? Maybe that would be really convenient. Where's our miner? Drone range, drone count, max power consumption. No, it does not tell us. So we're gonna have to, I guess, assume we're doing 40 per minute for each of these. And then the crushers are consuming 40 per minute, so that means each one of the crushers can consume an entire belt. It doesn't seem right, but I guess we'll feed one into it and find out. So let's do loader, 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 loader. So we'll see how many we can fit onto one belt. So we'll do crushers here, 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 and here. We'll configure all of these to do xenoferrite ore. And then we have to extend our belt straight through. Like so. So let's see how many crushers one miner can sustain. So we're dropping quick. We're going to hit a point soon where we're going to have to find another deposit of xenoferrite as well, because we're draining it quick. We've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 different miners pulling off of this. There's still quite a bit left, but it's disappearing fast. Let's see, 2. Yeah, it's pretty much a surface level deposit, so we're gonna have to just keep an eye out for more mineral rock. Oh, yeah, we did get our scanner. We'll have to take a look at that in a minute once we get this figured out. Okay, so our last smasher in this line does still seem to be getting material enough to keep it at 100% operational capacity. We are sucking this this miner dry though, so we're gonna have to load balance a couple. Maybe we'll do both of these. And we'll set the output priority to the right. And we'll see if that can sustain. See, this one's about to run out. This one has plenty left, so we'll let this run for a minute or so, and we'll see. Yield last minute 55, okay. So I guess we have a total consumption of what? 40, 80, 120, 160 units per minute. So we know at least we know that these can do at least 56, maybe 60 per minute. I haven't seen a hard number on what the actual maximum production or maximum yield capacity is of these miners. And as long as we can sustain 160 units per minute, then we can sustain all of these crushers. So we are going to need to start emptying these out soon. Okay, so we are now losing capacity on our second miner. So we will probably need all 3 of these miners working in tandem, emptying onto a single belt in order to feed all 4 of these crushers. So to that end, let's see, how can we fit this back in here? Okay, so I put these back to running in parallel, and then we're going to hit 2 balancers to manage all of this onto a single belt. We might be over capacity on the belt. Again, I'm not sure what the maximum throughput of a red belt is. Does it tell us here? Conveyor belt here. 160, so that's actually perfect, right? Because we've got, what, 80 and 80, so 160. Okay, so that's the maximum capacity of this belt is just enough to sustain 4 crushers. And then we need to take the output from the crushers and then feed them into a row of smelters. So we'll put that here. So wrap it around the smelters. Well, we may not even have to do that, because if we do second lane loaders, we can actually interweave the smelters with the output of the crushers, right? So we can do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then our smelters can live here. Yeah, our second lane loaders are actually the outputs of these machines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we'll set this to output, 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 output. So that'll be a new line going this way to here. And then we can interweave that with intakes for a row of smelters on the right side. Yeah, that looks better. So what we basically have is each crusher is providing refined ore for one smelter. So now we're going to need some more foundation on this side. So let me get that set up. Okay. Drop our platform in, and then we can put down our smelters facing this way. One more row here. Perfect. Okay, so now each one of these is now refining or smelting refined ore and producing 3 plates each. So we're getting 50% extra yield from our crushers. And we just need to take the output of these smelters and loop it back around into our collection, what do we call this, logistics container. And what we'll probably want to do is, because this is getting maxed out, let's start research on the expanded logistics container, which I think we have available already, the logistics container 2. And then we can increase the amount of storage that we have for each of our resources. And then, actually, you know what? Instead of bringing this like all the way out and around to here, let's just move this closer. So we can put this like right at the front of this here. We'll also take the output of these, bring it down and around here, and then we can just put our logistics container right here next to our smelters. That seems to make more sense to me. Although we do have to bring it back into this line to get over there anyway. Now I'll connect it up either way. We'll get it connected up and see you here in a minute. Okay, I did just notice that each of these is actually only consuming 20 units per minute. So actually, since each one of these crushers is producing 40, we're actually going to need 2 smelters per crusher. So we have 4 crushers, so we're going to need 8 smelters. So I do need to get those other 8 back in here. Yep, and we're out of building blocks. So I'm going to grab some more building blocks and get those other smelters put in line. Okay, there we go. So now we have all 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 smelters operating again. And we need to take their output, and I guess we can just bring it back underneath our mining drone line here. So let's go this way. And we'll clear some space here, and we'll go underneath. Okay, there we go. We're going under and back up on this side. And so now that we have the tier 2 logistics containers, we can plop one of these down and transfer all of our existing stock into this. Once we see what it looks like, I might want to relocate this light. Now let's face it. Towards us, like that. Are we done? Here we go, logistics container 2. Oh boy. Geez, a biggin. Okay, so we can load from the left-hand side. We just need to get this out of the way. Hopefully we have enough room to hold all these plates. We do. I don't know if we need to have power down here, but I want to at least have it looking like it's sitting on a foundation. There we go. And we don't need the input here, but we do need an input here. I guess we could... Can we do it in the back like that? I guess we can just move this back one. Not a big deal. Back one. back one. Bring this right up. And build a loader. There we go. There's our plates. Let's go ahead and drop the excess plates from before back in here, and now we have twice as much capacity. So we need to repeat this for rods, and I think that will cap off this little engineering project for now until we get maybe something more efficient that we can do with xenoferrite and technum, what's it called here? Technum ore. So we'll rip up all of these smelters. Let's just do a area wipe. I'm gonna make sure we don't... Nope, I did that wrong. Like this, all the way to here. I don't know why it went down one level, but whatever, we can easily replace that. Like so. And we will have to build some more miners as well. Since we only have one, and I think we're using 3 over here. So we'll build 2 more. Okay, there's 3 total, so we're gonna need 2 more output loaders. There we go, and then we can run our 3 parallel lines. And we want to fill this in. And we'll immediately take our load balancers and move everything to the right. Well, yeah, right from their perspective, left from ours. Set the output priority right. Right. And then connect this up. So now we're load balancing everything onto one line. And then we can start putting our crushers down. Here. These need to go forward 1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought we need some more loaders, so let me get those building. And then we're gonna need 1 input loader. And then 1 output loader for each smelter. And then we're going to have to add some more foundation on this side to put the smelters back down. There we go. That should be enough there. So let's grab our smelters, face them this way, and we're going to want them on this row. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no. Keep going. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. There's all 8 smelters, and then we need loaders attached to the front of each. We only have 5 left, so we're going to need 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to belt this way. And let's set all these to outputs, since they'll be pulling in from the back. Like so. And then we need a belt. Oops, a belt that runs through all of these crushers to bring the technum ore in. And then we need another belt going this way. Like that. And next we need 8 more loaders. And then we'll have the smelter scrap off of this output belt here. Oh, and we do need to, on the crushers, we need to configure these to be producing refined technum ore. Like so. So now we should see the technum ore start to build up on this belt here. Oh, right, we have to put these in outputs. Whoops. Output, output, output. There we go, there's our technum ore. So we'll copy this, rotate it, and then we'll do input, 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 input. We're gonna have to move this. Oop, too far. Which is kind of good because then we can put our storage and pickup location, our logistics container. What am I doing? We can put it closer to our actual base so we don't have to run all the way out here to grab rods. Take this back a bit. Now we can extend this. Straight, please. Copy this. And continue. No power. Oh. How about now? There we go. Everything's online. So let's see. We're getting pretty tight on space. Let me make some room in our inventory here. Can I temporarily load these back into you? No. So let me go ahead and then build our logistics container too, so I can pop that down and move all of our excess rods closer to our base here. There we go, some foundation. I'm gonna get a light going for this part. Let's put down our logistics container 2. One space out. So that we can do a input loader and an output loader. And then we can put our excess rods into here. Let's auto sort and then dump, 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 dump. Oop, we have a floating cube. And then we'll destroy this and move all of its rods into this. Like so, and we already have it filled. Yeesh. But at any rate, I think that is enough. Let's just, I'm gonna slap some lights down just for looks, and so that we can see what's going on over here at night. And then that should be everything we need for the technum rod upgrade, and then we can go ore hunting. Oh, we do need to connect this back up, so let me get these blocks put in. And a light slapped down here, facing this way. And this should just be a ramp on this side. So we'll go up, connect this here, and then connect this ramp to this belt. And there we go. Our rods are flowing, and then we're going to be collecting them in here. So this is actually already pretty full, but we've doubled our capacity. We've got a 50% bonus on our production, so that is pretty good. So I'm gonna bust our scanner out here, and I did see there was a mineral deposit or something, mineral rock right here. And what we're looking for is like porous rock, something like that. Let me look at the help file again. What was that under? Lava caves? How to get there? Most of the rock layers above the lava caves are too hard to dig or blast. We're looking for porous rock. Your scanner and map will be able to track them as soon as you research the elevator. Ah, okay, so the mineral deposit is not what we want. We're gonna need to research elevator. All right, we'll get that cooking. In the meantime, we can take a look. We've been neglecting our space station and our BB. So let's look at the space station here. Station upgrades. So we've got a lot that we can do. I know we have a task to build a drone bay, I think. Let's talk to BB here. Yeah, construction drone bay, which is to construct a drone bay. So what do we need to construct the drone bay? Station upgrades, drone bay. So it's going to consume 10 megawatts of power. We have 20 to spare. 150 construction material, which is exactly how much we have. 100 firmalite, which is fine. We're actually... I don't know what the difference between the firmalite vault and the firmalite on station is. You'll be charged for external storage. I guess we'll need to upgrade that as well. But we can at least do the drone bay, and then we'll send our spaceship, our cargo ship. We're going to send you... Oh no, we do it from sales platform. Galactic market. New trade, this is it. So we want to buy some more construction material. Now we can only do 100 at a time with the current ship that we have, which is fine. So we're going to send... Yeah. We're going to send you on a mission to buy 100 more construction material for our space station. And I think that's all we can do at the moment. Station upgrades. I don't know if we can do... Yeah, we can only have one production or construction going at a time. So we'll let that run in the background. And what else can we do in the meantime? What else do you have here? High voltage power.
Corporate guidelines say we're using suboptimal energy generation methods. Only steam turbines provide maximum efficiency. We need to fix that.
Okay, and lava caves.
Going to the lava caves to smelt our firmalite? That sounds dangerous. Indeed, it is the only way to smelt such a sturdy material. Firmalite sheets could be used to make more advanced robots and unlock new technologies. However, this is not an easy task. We need to unlock multiple new technologies like elevators to reach for the depths.
Way ahead
To
of
get
you.
started, research basic firmalite smelting. Completing the research will unlock an information database page about lava caves with all the information needed.
Okay, that's already underway. But since he mentioned high voltage energy, that is something we can work on, because I think our plant over here is gone cold, because it needs to be, right now, it needs to be manually topped up with more fuel. You can drop in some more biofuel, but it's going to quickly run out. So one of our engineering tasks we can do for this episode is to bring the line of ignium ore over here and connect it up to our feeder belt here. So let's work on that as well. That didn't last long. Okay, so it comes to here. So let's put a load balancer on this. Say right here. And then we'll split off a line of ignium ore going down this way. And then we want this to go all the way back to our power plant. So let's say here. Let's see, this is the external wall, so this will be the first actual usable tile inside the base. So we're going to build a basement for the power plant. So let's trace out the line we're going to need to run that belt on first. And then we'll come and we'll bury a conveyor belt of ignium ore.
We've got the elevator. That'll certainly lift our ambitions to the next level. If in doubt, check the information database to understand how to use it. Additionally, we now have unlocked the ability to scan for lava cave access shafts in case you plan to set up firmalite smelting. Once again, check the lava cave information database page for more information.
Is this AI generated? Because I've noticed a number of grammatical and spelling issues, and then the voice actor just kind of rolls with it. Okay, so if we drop some down slopes here and here. Oop, I need some more ramps. Here and here and here. Good. Now we can bring our ore under our technum deposit and connect it to this on the other side. Awesome. And then we'll follow it up the ramp here and keep bringing it back. Back and back and back and back. All the way into the basement of our high voltage facility, which I have just dug out. We'll wait for that ore to arrive, and in the meantime, we're going to figure out how we're going to get our, or how we want to get our ore into this, and also how we're going to get back out of here, because I neglected to make a door to get out here. That's okay, we can dig up on the outside of the building, which is actually one more tile forward. Let me out. Good enough. Okay, and then we can put... It's just a ladder here somewhere. And kind of, we're hemmed in by power poles. Here, this will work temporarily. Okay, so if we look in the main floor of our facility here, we've got a line coming in here. So let's get rid of the stuff that's coming in from outside the building. And maybe we bring up... We're eventually going to have another reactor or another turbine here. So do we want to load it on... We'll have to load it on this side. Like so. My only complaint is that this now... I guess we could walk around, we could go the far way around on this side, but it does block off easy access on this side unless we're jumping over our loaders. So... Oops, I fell right out. So let's set up our loading belt for this, and it's probably going to go downstairs maybe, so let's put this actually on the other side because we're going to need to bring a ramp up and then hit this loader, and then this will feed straight through into our second turbine, and then maybe our third if we decide to keep on expanding. But for right now, we just need to get into this first one. We're going to go straight this way, and then we need to start going down. Ramps going up. There's one, there's two, and if we rotate this like so, see if I can get this in here. There we go. So that's going to roll up. And then we just need this to come straight across to here. And that should be it. Our Technum's going to flow up the ramp. And then we're going to run out here real quick. And we'll fill this in with a... We still haven't researched stairs, but I'll research stairs and put an actual basement door down there. But for right now, I want to see this ore hit this loader. Oh yeah, there's no power here, so we have to temporarily... We'll have to pick up one, manually load it into the machine, and that should produce enough power for the loader to actually start running on its own. There we go, intake. So I guess it'll only... it seems like most machines in the game only will take 3 of a thing at a time. So I guess it'll just sit there until it needs more ignium. So in the meantime, we can patch up these holes as much as possible, because I left one in each corner for digging purposes, so that I knew where the extents of the basement needed to be. So we'll patch that up, patch that up. Since this is a basement, that means the ceiling of this room is actually electrified with low voltage. So if we drop in a few ceiling lights, we can at least see what's going on down here. So we'll do, it doesn't really matter, we can move them later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. There we go, at least so we can see our belt if we have to come down here and do maintenance. And then when we add more turbines, we can just tee off this water junction here, bring it along the ceiling, and then splice it back up into each of the boilers. That way we don't have to block off. You know, we can go out horizontally from the sides of the boilers, but if we do it that way, then we don't block the passage in between each of the turbines, because it'll have to come out this way and then into another boiler, and then there'll be a pipe in the way here. So if we just come up from the ground like we have here, it improves our walkability inside here, since we are now closing off this left-hand side with a loader. So it's all stuff we can work on in the future, but for right now, we have a fully fed steam turbine. And all we have to do is patch up this trench that we dug here in the ground. Then on this side we have sand, or desert, whatever you prefer to call it. Going here, going back to here. And that works. So the next thing I want to look at is I did notice while I was working on that our profits slowly tapered off to nothing. So something is not getting fed, and it looks like it's plates, because I don't see any plates flowing up here. So somebody may have seen that. Yep, output. There it is. Somebody probably screaming at the screen when I forgot to do that. But luckily we have a nice backlog of plates, so that should immediately get our production back in motion. And we're going to grab a research project, and then we're going to go look for a porous rock vent to try to get down into the lava caves. What are we going to research next? Freight elevators seems pretty good. We do need stairs, but that's not really imperative. That's just more of a decoration thing. So let's grab the freight elevator, since I've been talking about using these for the entire playthrough. So we'll get those running. And we'll probably need an elevator. So let's see what's going to take to build us an elevator. Once I find it. Biomass burner. Crusher elevator. Here we go. Xenoferrite plates and advanced machinery parts. Okay, so we have we need to manufacture a new tier of machinery parts first. So let's lose some of this inventory clutter. We're actually going to need to build a crate for all of our extra machines here, because now I have a bunch of extra smelters. And an entire steam turbine and boiler combo that I didn't end up using. We'll get rid of the Technum ore rubble. Some dirt. Okay, that's clean enough. So we're going to need a new assembler. Hopefully it doesn't require an assembler 2, but we'll find out in a minute. Actually, you know what? There we go. So without hooking this up to anything yet, we're just going to drop this down and look at the recipe for components, advanced machinery parts. So those need machinery parts and steel beams. Easy, because we have both of those available on our main bus already. So we'll scoop this back up. And we're going to have to extend our manufacturing platform a bit, so I'll do that first. There we go. So we'll copy this, drop down a new assembler, set this to advanced machinery parts, and then we need to pull down machinery parts and steel beams. So that's 3rd level and 6th level, both of which are going to need to get extended, which means we're going to need more belts. So let's bring these all the way to the end for each material. Oh, oh, where are you going? This way, please. Right here. There we go. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this is actually going to need to go forward. 2 more. To here. Because we're going to need a lot of ramp space to bring machinery part, or not machinery parts, but steel down from this top row. So let's line that up with loaders, which I don't have, here and here, and then one for output, so we'll need one more. And these will probably go up onto a 7th row here, because they are machinery parts are a basic component used in other constructions. So we'll copy this, do 1, 2, 3, set this to input, input, output. And then let's bring down, let's see, this goes here, which means we need to intersect the belt here. Put a balancer here. Rotate it this way. And then this needs to go down. Let's see if we have enough space here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oop, there we're now. Perfect. Just enough. 9. There we go. 1, 2, and then we'll go back this way. So now we need machinery parts, which is here. So that's going to be on this row. So we're going to interrupt that bell here and here. Put a balancer this way. Rotate the output. Go down. Down. And in. Beautiful. So now we should be manufacturing parts. Yep. This is a bit awkward positioning. I may need to relocate this at some point. But it's fine for now. Everything is working. So we're going to let this run for a bit, and I'm just going to scoop a handful of this out in order to build our elevator. Oh. Oh, because we can handcraft them, but I don't want to handcraft those. We'll wait up. We'll wait for 20. I guess we could grab a handful of electronics components as well. Where are those at? Manage inventory. So shift right click and we'll take half a stack just for our own handcrafting purposes. There we go. We'll take all of these. Gimme. We'll let those keep building up passively in the background. Now we can build an elevator. And before we run off, let's just go talk to BB here and turn in any quests that we have lingering. Interact, so we have construction drone bay is done.
Construction drone bay now operational. We should upgrade it further whenever construction times are getting too high. And keep in mind that you can pause the current station construction in case it takes too long or you change your mind.
Freight elevator unlocked as well. Perfect. So I guess before we run off, let's get something else researching. Research, what do we want next? Concrete production, walkways, a tank for liquids. Inventory size, assembler 2. Let's do concrete production, because I'm sure that'll be our next scientific tier we have to break through. So gravel, cement, concrete, and a casting machine. Requirement for station upgrade. Market license. I don't know what those are just yet. But it doesn't matter because we're going on a hunt. Mineral rock. So much stuff showing up. Technum ore. I thought there was something else in this direction. Mineral rock. Porous rock. There we go. Oh, this was easily visible if I had just wandered around. Look at that. Okay, so we're gonna make a save here. Because we're gonna be dealing with lava now. This is kind of neat though, because we're gonna get to embed a elevator facility into the side of this mountain, which is a pretty neat engineering prospect. So for now, I guess let's decide where we want. We'll do it at ground level, and we'll kind of dig in this way for a bit until we have a footprint for an elevator, and then we can assemble kind of a foyer building around the elevator. Okay, so we're into the porous rock. Let me look at what the footprint of the elevator is so I know how much I need to excavate. So let's try to place it down here. I need a place where there are no trees to see the actual footprint of this. There we go. Okay, so it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 6 by 5. And the front is, I assume, this way. So we want, since it's not perfectly square, we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's actually perfect. I think that's what I was actually digging out. So we want 5 wide and 6 deep. Got it. 3. Okay, that matches the footprint of our elevator, but we will probably have to go up a bit because I think this is also like 4 tall or something like that. Yeah, so we'll dig up a bit just to make room for this, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay, here is our tunnel for our elevator. I'm gonna go ahead, before I plop the elevator down, I am going to make some walls for this, just to make it look neat. So let me plop some decor down and we'll be right back. Okay, so off in the distance here, you may see a new wall built into the mountainside here, being fed via a high voltage line. So if we pop this door open here, inside we'll see a space big enough for an elevator, with a little power room off to the side here to bring our high voltage line through to the elevator, and then to also transform it into a low voltage grid for the lighting and anything else we may want to pop into here. But I think we are now ready to grab our elevator, which is here, and we're going to place it down. So we have to rotate it so that the high voltage feed sits on that side, just like that. Beautiful. So now I just need to tear this wall down and get behind it to connect up that high voltage feed, or actually I can just walk in here, I think. And we'll grab this power line and connect this to that, out of sight. Ah, all right, give me a minute. Okay, now we're hooked up, so I'm gonna run back around here now, and look at that, we have a light on inside. We are ready to go. May want to dig up this last row here and put down some floor tile, but it's not that big of a deal. So let's look at our help guide, because it did recommend a level to set this elevator to get down to the lava caves. Scroll down, it says roughly at a height between 2 and 15. So we're gonna save again just in case we put ourselves into lava, and let's go open config frame or new. No, new did nothing, so open config frame. Height 132. Add station, so let's add a station at lava. Enter height. Well, yeah, let's take 5. Confirm. Oh, it's got a long... Can we see it dig? Oh yeah, look at that. So you don't even have to, like, if we need to get, like, core samples done to reach mineral deposits deep down, we don't even have to manually dig down with our drill. We can just plop an elevator and let it make a tunnel for us, and then just delete the elevator, right? Well, let's keep an eye on it. There's that 113. That gives us enough time to run over and start another research, and then we'll come back and wait for this to finish. And there we have it. The lava floor. Let's take a ride down, see what we can find. Ooh, neat. Does it tell us what floor we're at currently? We have a counter. Doesn't look like it. Going way down. The reason I chose floor 5 is so that if we have to build like down underneath the ground for any reason, that we have some depth to go down to. I hear lava. I'm kind of concerned now about where we're digging, so I'm gonna make another save. Genji Galactic Lava? Question mark? No question marks. Alright, well, only one thing to do, and that's to start digging. So, we take the elevator this way, right? We come in on the right. Do we keep going this way, then? So did we not go down far enough? 'Cause we're at 5 now, right? So let me try digging down. And if we do end up hitting the lava caves at like 2, then we'll delete this floor and go all the way down to 2 on the elevator. Let's see, so this is 5, and this is 4. This is 3, that's 2. This cannot be mine. Okay, so we've hit bedrock. We're all the way down. We're at the bottom of the world. So where are these caves? Let's try digging this direction. Oh, I see light. Okay, I picked the wrong direction, so we'll patch that wall. Flashlight. Oh, look at that. I went a bit too high, actually. So if this is 5, then this is 4, 3, 2. So we want to get truly to the ground level here. We want 2. So let me ride this back up. I'll delete this stop, I guess, and then add a stop at 2, and then it'll bring us right down to here. So we'll dig this back a bit, recreate that, and then we'll catch back up when I'm riding down to the appropriate elevation. There we are, level 2. So we'll clear this out. We'll pretty this up at some point, maybe off screen. But for now, I want to get out here and start exploring. There's one side. Don't accidentally run into the lava, please. He's very excitable. So, follow-up question, does the elevator also bring high voltage power down to the floor that you're on? So if I dig this out at lava caves. Okay, so I do actually want to extend this a bit. But let me see the side of this. Okay, I do get a high voltage connection here, so I can bring power down into the lava caves. That's awesome. Look at this. I wonder if those stalactites are worth mining. This game could use some enemies. Like, that would be cool if there was like an actual threat down here we had to defend ourselves from. Find a Balrog down here or something. Just to give it that little bit of extra intrigue, a little sense of danger. Let's see, can we mine these guys? We can. I'm sure they gave us biomass. Yep. I'm just curious if they drop seeds. Oh, let's give us stone. Interesting. Grow some lava cave plants up on the surface. But at any rate, it doesn't look like there's much to actually see down here besides the lava. So we'll go run around and get lost down here maybe at some point, but for right now, we want to drop down our lava smelters. So let's see what's going to take to build that. So we need firmalite bars. Interesting. So we need to, I guess, bring some down from our space station. What else can we do down here? I think that might be it. So we need to bring some power distribution. You know, take our high voltage out of here, lay down some low voltage grid, and put a transformer here so that we have a power feed down here into the lava caves. And then I'll go back up and we'll hit the space station terminal and see what we need to do to bring some firmalite bars down here so that we can create our lava smelter. And I guess start smelting firmalite bars into something useful. So I'll see you back up top. We've arrived. Let's head on over to the space station terminal. And then we might need to build another landing platform, because that one's dedicated to like trade goods. So let's take a look. Station upgrades, hangar, docking facilities, a workshop, interesting cargo bay, holds all sorts of cargo, a firmalite vault. Firmalite is valuable and belongs in a vault, clearly. So let's go over here. So this one is specifically, it can only handle one product, it looks like. So if I build another one of these... Nope, speak of. There's the ship. Okay, so we'll just put this out here. It doesn't matter because I just want to see the configuration terminal. So if we do configure... transport wares from the space station to the factory. So this is how we get firmalite down. Okay. So, so we will have to come up with a production, not a production, but a transportation line wherein we're bringing down firmalite, loading it onto a belt, and then maybe we'll have to extend this and build a freight elevator in here. Because I'm sure we're going to need to bring the firmalite down to the magma layer in order to smelt it, and then bring it back up again. So let's relocate. Let's relocate our landing pad here. And we can drop down our landing platform, our shipping pad. Let's rotate it so that the belts are facing the direction we're going to be feeding into the mountain from. It'd be nice if you could zoom out a bit. Something like that. That should work. Oh yeah, and there's our outputs right here, so those can feed directly into, we'll build a port in the mountain to go into a freight elevator. But for right now, we're just going to pull down some firmalite. So we're gonna need a second, well, I guess now a third ship. So we're gonna have one ship dealing with transport bots. We're gonna have one ship that we have on standby for going and doing market purchases for us, for like building materials. And then we're gonna have a third that we're gonna use to bring firmalite down to the surface. So let's have it bring us 100 firmalite. Or maybe the one that we have dedicated to that pad will do both while it's waiting for this one to fill up. Seems like that may be the case. And we have no export bus yet. But that's fine because right now I just want 10, which is what we need to create the lava smelter. Let's pick up some more advanced machinery parts so that we're not wasting our massive amounts of plates and rods. Okay, so he's unloading still. That's fine. Choose minimum amount to transport, 100. Okay. So I assume he won't actually return until there's at least 100 storage available for him to offload into. So in the meantime, we're going to build a lava smelter. Let's take a look at the footprint. Oh, it's huge. Okay. Structure blocked by buildings. Structure is blocked by a world object, vegetation. Are you sure? I mean, it probably just needs to be built in lava, but I wanted to just see what it looks like. Structure has to be placed in lava. Okay. If you insist. Let's head back down. Here we are. So let's build a platform out this way, and then we'll build our lava smelter off in this direction, perhaps? Oh, we can't even... Structure cannot be placed in lava. So then we may want to actually lift this up to level 1, the elevator. That way we can actually have kind of a lava dock, a magma dock going this direction, and then it'll be level with our elevator. So we'll take care of that. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and drop this down. So where does this load and unload from? It looks like the backside here. It's actually quite tall. So they're expecting us to build like big catwalks for this. So let's see how high up we actually have to go here. So this is level 1, I'm guessing. Well, no, it's 2. Yeah, because we're on 2 here. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6. Let go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we need to get them up to level 7. So we're going to want to have basically like a lava dock going out this way. So maybe we do want to bring the elevator up a bit. Either that or we have like a ramp that goes up. Because I do kind of like this. Well, no, I guess it could also be cool if we come out of... So if we put this up at like level 7, and then we have the dock come straight out, and then we can have like a ladder that just comes down to the surface here if we need to get down to the floor. So I think that'll probably work. So let me reconfigure that, and then we'll work on getting this hooked up to a freight elevator so that we can bring firmalite down here to smelt. Then I also, somehow, I don't see where it's at. Most of these crafting stations have a control interface on them. And I don't see where this one is. Can I run around on it? Uh-oh. Wait. Oh. I guess we are a robot, but that's a little disappointing. Okay, I see it. So yeah, so we're actually going to want to probably rotate this to face this direction, and then we'll bring it right up alongside the dock. So let's take this down. Let's take all this down. Destroy it all. place this back down with, yeah, the loader's facing us. And then on like this line here. So this comes out this way, so our pier, our lava pier, will be here. 1, 2, 3, something like this. Going back this direction. Right, and then I need a way to get up here temporarily, so I'll just throw some dirt down. So we can just access to our smelter, and then we can see our control panel here. Yeah, that's fine. So, yeah, so we're doing an input content of firmalite, so we could manually do that for right now, but it would be, I think it'd be cooler if we actually get the belt hooked up to it. Although we'll have to see how much time we have left in the episode. We're already at 3.5 hours, so that'll be another pretty big engineering project to get the freight elevator and the belts fit in here. But yeah, let me redo the elevator. I need to grab some more items, and I'm running out of like foundations here. So we'll do that, and then we'll reconvene, and we'll start our next engineering project. Okay, I think we're ready to continue. So we've got a belt coming out of our landing platform carrying firmalite into a little tunnel that we have dug out, just big enough for a conveyor belt going into the wall here. So once we step inside now, we have our main elevator, and then to the left here, oop, I need to cover up a hole. Oop, you saw nothing? So that comes behind the wall here and appears right around the corner here. So we're going to take this forward to about here. And then we can place our, well, at least the top portion of our freight elevator. So let's make sure we have the top selected. So we can, the reason I had to put this here, I originally wanted to put this up here so that it was like level with our main elevator. But there is the porous rock. It doesn't quite make it out here, so this is actually going to impact the undiggable bedrock. Not the bedrock, but there's like a higher dome of tougher rock that we need to research some kind of drilling technology to get through. So in order to get this over the porous rock deposit, I had to scoot this back behind the main elevator. But we finally have a location for our freight elevator. So we'll bring this into a loader here, which I don't have any of, so let's make a loader real quick. In fact, let's make a few, because I'm sure we're going to need some downstairs. So let's pop this on, so that we are loading into the top part of our freight elevator. So now what we have to do is, at this exact location down in the lava caves, we have to build the lower freight elevator portion of that. So if we reselect this, change to freight elevator bottom, we have to get this to match up with this downstairs. So we have to, let's take an account of kind of where it is in relationship to this. So let's see, we're going to come out 1 square to the left, and then we're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that will be the corner of our freight elevator. So let's get down there, and hopefully we can remember that. To the smelting deck. I was able to keep the lava caves location because it was actually enough of a vertical difference between that level and where we wanted the smelting deck, so I can actually have both. We will need to do a little digging though in order to get back to that location. Or to even get out of the elevator. Okay, so let's place down some platforms. We want our dock height, or our lava pier, our magma pier, to be at this level. So we can connect this. Did we end up too high? I swear I put this at 7. Yeah, this is at 7. Okay, well, I guess we need to go to 6. So let me hop back in here. I wonder if there's going to be enough space. I mean, we can get rid of that platform if necessary. We don't really need that. So let's hit our config frames. We're going to let's delete lava caves, and let's delete smelting deck. Can we delete smelting deck while we're on it? Well, here, let's go. Here, let's cancel this. Let's go to the lava caves. And then we'll delete the smelting deck and try to move it down 1 level. Smelting deck on 6. Confirm. Smelting deck. Let's go up. Perfect. Okay, so we'll move this forward. We'll clear out the rest of this. There we go. Now we can at least get out. And so we need to now wrap around the side here. So we had 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this right here. Oh, it tells us exactly where we need to be. So perfect. Yep. So we were right. So that is the corner of our elevator shaft there. So let's just clear the rest of this out. I always forget to turn my flashlight on. My screen here is bright enough to see, but maybe yours isn't. Okay, so there's the other corner. Ah, there's the... I think that's the tunnel that we were trying to get out of, or trying to locate the lava tunnels the first time we went down there. Alright, so we'll build up this back wall again with the core blocks. Maybe we should go down 1 more too, because you can still see a crack there. So 1, 2... I said one thing and did another. These blocks here. There we go. And then we'll go out 1 more here. Like so. Let's go ahead and drop some flooring in here. Like so. And then the last thing that we need to do, because we do need to power the loaders here, is to connect up our high power connection on the back side of this elevator wall to a transformer. So let's dig that out. There we go. So something like this. So let's rotate so the screen's facing out. Still see the smelting deck sign here. Now I just need enough of a gap in order to hit that. Let's see, how can we get to that? Can we take this out? Just need to be able to see that right there with our wiring tool. Did we get it? We got it. Yeah. So there's our grid status. Grid status is good. There's nothing, we're not consuming anything down here yet, but we will because now we need to grab some conveyors. Actually, I'm going to increase the ceiling here by 1 block real quick. There we go. So we'll copy this, drag it across. We can, we'll pretty this up later. We'll paint and we'll put walls in and kind of make this look more tech docky. But for right now, I just want to get this stuff working. Let's drop the bottom part of our freight elevator. I don't know if the orientation matters. That looks good enough. Yes, we can fill this in maybe with something. Although I think it is, right now, it's probably excavating from the top down here. So this will probably get filled in with blocks in just a few minutes here. So while that's digging down, we're going to take our loader on 8. And then take our belts. Bring them this way. Nothing yet. And unfortunately we have this on the other side. Not a big deal. But we'll grab... Okay, let's get rid of this and let's bring our deck out 1 so that we can at least have these 3 lined up with the elevator door here, and then we'll take our conveyor belt and bring it right here. Connect it with another loader. It is a bit odd. Maybe we'll bring it under this deck and then bring it up into one of these, just so we don't have to step over the belt to get to the control panel here. Just for looks, I mean, this will work just fine, but I do like my looks. So we're gonna wait until this breaks through the ceiling here so we can see it bring some thermalite down to us, or firmalite down to us. So we'll see it in a second. Oh, I can hear it. It's getting close. There it is. Interesting. It's you can see through it, and you can see all the way up the shaft to the surface. Cool. I wonder if that brings sunlight down. Well, I guess it wouldn't because the top of it is underground too, right? At any rate, this should automatically be working, right? No, this needs to be set to an output. So this should bring the thermalite, or firmalite, keep calling it thermalite. The firmalite that's already being piped into the top side of this should be coming down here. It'd be cool if there was some kind of indicator that showed that it was operating and moving like the man elevator does. Okay, well, it's been like 5 minutes and I haven't seen the elevator come down yet, so I'm going to ride back up and see if it's loading in on the top side. Nope, we need to patch that hole as well. No foundation. Oh. I had a decorative block underneath it. Oh no. Okay, now it's moving. Let's race it. Go. I'm kind of curious how it operates. Does it intake a bunch and then send it all down at once and unload it and then go back up, or does it just kind of in one, out one? It just acts as a big tube. Okay, well, we beat it down at least. Let's wait for it to show up. Oh, there it is. Oh god, it's slow. And it's like one individual package at a time. Interesting. Get out of here. Cool. All right, so here comes our firmalite bars. One got ahead of the other somehow. Intake, so this should automatically start working. Yes. Now, what is it that we're making here exactly? Firmalite sheet. Okay. Any type of lava smeltable, so we will have other types of materials to bring down here. That's cool, because I was just thinking, as I was sitting there waiting for the elevator to start working, you have all this interesting underground area, but as far as I know, the only thing that you can actually do down here is just smelt firmalite. But if they are giving you multiple things that you need to bring down here to smelt, then it does give you more of a reason to build up a facility down here. Alright, well that was an excellent little project. I'm glad I stuck it out the extra hour. We've automated bringing firmalite from space, basically, down to below the planet's surface in order to smelt it in the fiery magma below. So in the next one, we'll have to work out how to get it back up again so we can actually start producing things with it. But this is where we're going to break for this episode. So if you've been enjoying this playthrough of Foundry, hit like and subscribe. If you want to check out Foundry for yourself, head on over to Steam and pick it up. And if you want to let me know what you think of the playthrough so far, then hit the comments down below. But whatever you do, I will catch you right here again in the next one. So until then, bye-bye.